quite sorry for atheists in this, because you switch the radio on and you get all these people arguing about this, but let me address the atheists here. You can vote for this motion. And I'll tell you, this is what Richard Dawkins said. I have mixed feelings about the decline of Christianity, insofar as Christianity might be a bullet against something worse. Christianity is declining, and if it continues, something worse may take its place. Now, I think Richard Dawkins probably has like radical Islam or something in mind. So, the decline of Christianity can be halted by Christians going out and preaching the gospel. Now, to those of other faiths, you can even vote for this. And I'll tell you why. I know I talked about the gospel being divisive and so on. But Britain is an amazing country in which people have freedom of expression, freedom of religion. Where would you like to live? Do you want to live in Iran? Do you want to live in China? Do you want to live in Saudi Arabia? No, I think England is a nice place to live because it has an attitude of tolerance and freedom of expression and so on. And so if the Christian gospel is not preached, Christianity is going to decline, and I suspect Britain will become a less tolerant country. And let me just say this. There's a man from the Muslim Educational Centre of Oxford, Dr. Taj Hargai, who says that British Muslims should speak up for Christianity. And I think he feels that within a Christian culture, there is this sense of tolerance. If you're a Christian, I think there's no doubt about it, you should vote for this motion. If you're faithful to the biblical witness of salvation in Christ, you should vote for this. And I stand here as a Christian because in my second year at university, somebody from the Christian Union gave me a tract explaining the Christian gospel. I read it and I thought, yeah, that's right, that's true. So, if you're a Christian, share this gospel. It's a wonderful gospel of salvation.
Speech of this evening is from the opposition to the motion before the House this evening, and Professor Child or someone else might be providing us with the last speech this evening.
You have heard many reasons to vote for this motion. If you want to turn love into a law, into a duty to go and evangelize others, you should vote for this motion. If you want to turn faith into a work, the work of evangelism, the work of embracing Christ, the work of speaking the words of Christ, that I am a Christian, you should vote for this motion. If you want to turn forgiveness into condemnation, then you should vote for this motion. If you want to turn hope into threat, whether it's the threat of radical Islam or the threat of the holy gas chambers in the sky, you should vote for this motion. If you want to call sin righteousness and righteousness sin, so that the godly are suddenly proclaimed as justified, you should vote for this motion. If you want to turn spirituality into a matter of mere words, mere repetition, mere brainwashing, or getting into a trance without any openness to truth, then you should vote for this motion. If you want to replace a pure heart with membership of a club, you should vote for this motion. But the Christian gospel that I hear is something different. And it wasn't in that tract that I read as a first-year student, at which I was absolutely outraged and said, this is not Christianity, it is some awful thing that goes under the name of it. For the Christian, you have no duty but to owe, the one thing you owe is to love one another. You have faith, but only in God's work. You are told not to judge, so that you will not be judged. Finally, if you are a Christian, God will not despise a broken and contrite spirit. So, you must vote against this motion.